Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jessica Lauretti, and I am the Managing Director of the Anthem Awards. The Anthem Awards are brought to you by the Webbies, and they're a new award platform that honors purpose and mission-driven work from brands, organizations, and individuals all over the world. We are so happy to be live today. This is our favorite time of the week because every Thursday we get together with some amazing humans all around the world who come on and talk to us about the work that they are doing in the social impact space. So thank you all for joining us today. We have an amazing guest for you all today. This is our second to last episode of the season. We're going to have one more Impact Series episode for you next week. But without further ado, I'd love to introduce our guest today, Vanessa Serrao, Vice President of the Impact Story Lab at National Geographic. Vanessa, thank you so much for being with us today. How are you?
I'm great. Yes, excited to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
Well, this is I'm really happy to talk to you today because this is a subject matter that I am really interested and super passionate about. My background is actually in documentary filmmaking, and that's kind of how I got my start working in the social impact industry. So could you start by just telling us, tell us about what you do. How did you get to this place? Tell us about what the Impact Story Lab is and the work that you're doing.
Well, it is a very exciting time because we have just recently launched this new initiative called the Impact Story Lab on the National Geographic Society, which is the nonprofit organization, 134 years old. And our whole mission is to produce the high quality National Geographic storytelling that people would expect and combine that with social and behavioral science to really drive positive change in the world for our mission as an organization and for our explorers who are out doing amazing things in the world.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Can you talk about a little bit about impact storytelling? And, through your experience, how have you really seen that storytelling can make an impact in the world? And, can you share some examples about narrative shift and narrative change through that work?
Yes, well, the inspiration for starting this effort was from great examples of stories we saw that made an impact in the world. One example that I love is very close to the founding of our organization. In 1916, the magazine's first editor devoted an entire issue to advocate for the National Park Service, and was successful. So we really took a good look at what worked, which examples of stories, whether it was photography, film, journalism, what did result in real world impact. And then we also looked at examples that maybe missed, although well-intentioned, did not result in an impact. And then spent a lot of time working with social scientists to figure out what was the science behind those examples that worked and didn't. And now designed a whole approach to our work that really tells stories intentionally with impact in mind from the start.
Can you tell us about that? Like, how is the Impact Story Lab structured? Like, how do you do that?
Well, we partner with our National Geographic explorers who are scientists, educators, and storytellers. So they all have something they're trying to accomplish, whether it's creating a protected area or inspiring youth to pursue careers in science. So we begin there and work closely with our explorers to figure out what it is they're trying to achieve. Then we design a storytelling project that will help them get closer to that goal. And of utmost importance is the audience. Who are we trying to reach? Because sometimes it's a mass audience, such as you would expect from National Geographic Television or the magazine, but many times it's not. Many times it's a very targeted group of people, whether that's middle school students in the United States or a local community in Kenya, we really think about who the audience is and then how to best tell stories in a way that will resonate with them.
Right. That's
And
such a good.
I'll say, like, it really has opened up incredible, creativity in storytelling, because we're able to tell some stories that may feel, some environmental stories are told over and over again, and there can be a lot of fatigue in hearing them. So we're able to think about things in a different way and really try and think about how we can tell stories in a way that inspires new people, and not necessarily the same audience we have been reaching.
Right, right. And it's true, it's a good point about, local storytelling versus more global storytelling. Can you share, for folks out there who are interested in impact storytelling or just are storytellers, do you have any advice for them on, how do you put these things together or create campaigns or really think about how to put impact core to the work that you're doing?
Well, we start with impact. So we identify the impact goal first. So a lot of times storytelling starts with a great story. And while we still tell great stories, we start by identifying our impact goal and then investigate the story that falls within that goal. So that's crucial, is beginning with impact and then considering impact throughout, rather than having impact as an afterthought.
Like tacking it on the end.
Yeah, a lot of times you feel passionate about a story and you create a film or a exhibit or something that is really, really beautiful and inspiring. But if you didn't consider the impact from the beginning, you might not achieve what you hope you will.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing I would mention is the importance of partnerships. So we don't expect ourselves to be the experts in many of these issues that we're working on. So we rely on really close partnerships with scientists and educators, conservationists, people who are really enmeshed in these issues and can be our close partners and collaborators throughout.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I think for me personally, one of the visions that I have for the Anthem Awards is really creating this platform and space where folks can come together across industries in that way, right? Because a lot of times, people who are scientists are not necessarily talking to people who are documentary filmmakers, and being able to create a space where they can come together and meaningfully collaborate and partner is such a crucial part to creating impact in the world. It's so awesome.
Yeah, that's what I love about my job. I mean, we're lucky at National Geographic to have all of those disciplines coming together, and it's just so rewarding to get to work with experts in various fields and then be able to contribute as a storyteller to help with whatever those projects are succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that there's also an educational component. Can you talk about that? You have some courses that are offered on your platform online. Can you talk about that and what that is and how those work?
Yes, education is a core part of the Society's mission. Science, education, and storytelling are really the three disciplines in which we work. And one of our educational products is to teach storytelling. And so we had the course that was recognized by the Anthem Awards was made to teach the power of storytelling to youth and help kids and also educators, also teachers, understand the power of their voice and learn some skills and how to use that power through different mediums such as photography, film, podcasting and audio, and graphic design.
Right. Let's talk about one of your other projects, the Expedition Everest. I know that there is a big VR component to that project. Can you share with our audience what is that project? How does it work? And then talk a little bit about innovative technology and storytelling and how virtual reality can aid both in storytelling and in education.
Yeah, what I loved about the Everest project was that it was multi-platform. So there was a television show, we did photography and magazine articles, and then we, as you mentioned, did VR. And it was really fascinating to see the different ways people engaged with each of those mediums. And both through that experience as well as other VR projects we've done in the past, and some scientific studies that have come out on the effects of VR and immersive media, we really did see some differences, and found VR actually to be really increase engagement and make and help people actually remember, not only increase engagement and interest, but actually we found knowledge retention was greater with VR. And I think there's something about that immersive experience that really brings people to locations and enables them to feel that they are there. And that really we did see that make a big impact on people, which was great.
Yeah, I think virtual reality, I mean, I think the social impact space was one of the real early adopters of virtual reality for precisely that reason, that experience that people have of where you're being transported to a completely different reality, and actually like feeling yourself in that environment is such a different experience and longer lasting than maybe just like watching a video or reading a book or a magazine piece or anything like that. But also too, I think folks have really found that it's really motivated people to action as well. Like that sensory experience really connected to, okay, now what can I do? I want to get involved. I want to donate. I want to volunteer. So I've seen throughout the years really how some new innovative technologies has been, really great for the impact industry, and they've really been early adopters of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, with VR, you're experiencing the story and as a first person experience, whereas in a flat film, you're experiencing it through a character, which is also great, but it's one step further removed. So yeah, thinking about how to use that for social impact has been really interesting, and we hope to continue to experiment more and find out how best to use it.
Yeah, I think really, I mean, certain issue areas are definitely more lended to it. I can see how climate and sustainability and environmental issues really are suited for that kind of storytelling. Tell us about your film series, Last Wild Places. For those who don't know, what is it? What is it about? But then also tell us, what are you really hoping that viewers will take away from the experience?
Yes, Last Wild Places was a 4-part series in support of the movement to protect 30% of the planet by 2030. And so we chose to tell stories of hope and success in large landscape conservation. We really we wanted people to see that this sort of conservation was possible, and really and use the emotions of hope and pride to mobilize people rather than telling a sad story of what has been lost. We told stories of rejuvenation and rewilding, and really wanted to give people hope to get them to support that type of work. And crucial to that as well was showing that this type of conservation needs to be done in connection with local people and even led by local people, getting away from creating strict boundaries and separating people from nature. We wanted to show that actually the best type of conservation is done with and for and by the people who live there. So each of our stories shows that in different places around the world.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, you honestly have like a total dream job where you get to work at the intersection of storytelling, climate work, education, like all of these amazing issues. Tell us, like, what do you love about what you do?
Yes, I mean, I feel so privileged that every day I get to do work that is meaningful to me and that I feel is of a benefit to the rest of our society and planet. Every day, I'm learning and I'm being exposed to new ideas and new people, and yeah, that's what I love about it. Getting to use creativity to make a positive impact is just it's a privilege, and I'm definitely aware of that. I'm grateful every day.
That's so awesome. Tell us about what you're working on next and what we can expect to see from the Impact Story Lab.
Well, it's very exciting time because we just launched this impact. We've been doing impact storytelling for many years now, but officially launched the Impact Story Lab in June. And that is what I described as this is a lab because we want to be experimenting, and we're combining science and storytelling to really drive positive change. And that's a new endeavor here. And with that, we have, close to 20 projects that we're currently developing with National Geographic explorers. And we don't know what they'll be yet, but it will range from film to photography, more VR. But each of these projects represents a different opportunity to create something that will make a lasting change. And that's what we're doing now, and we have a lot to look forward to.
Awesome. Tell everyone where they can find out more online. You have a website, I'm sure, some social channels people can follow you on.
Yes, well, nationalgeographic.org is the best place to learn about the society and our mission work and our explorers, and our work would appear there as well.
Great. Thank you so much for being with us today. Congratulations on being an inaugural winner. Thank you for all the work that you are doing every day. And thank you everyone out there for being with us. We have one more episode for the season next Thursday, where we'll be talking about the protests in Iran. And our call for entries is currently closed. We just passed our extended entry deadline. We are beginning the judging process, and we'll be announcing our finalists in January of 2023. So we're so excited to start to think about our winter celebration and how we can convene everyone and bring folks together across the industry. So thank you all again for tuning in. If you missed this conversation or want to share it with someone who you think might be interested in, we'll be posting it up on our website, and it'll go out in our emails in the coming weeks. If you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, you should probably do that at anthemawards.com. And thank you again, Vanessa. Thank you everyone for joining us. Have a great, safe and healthy weekend, and happy Halloween to everyone. So thanks again. See you later.